here's take 2 on Mr. Creepypasta's variation story. Now this one is actually a horror house. You know those old ones where you walk through and there's something creepy there? Yeah, but I've heard that there are some haunted houses that go a bit too far. Yeah, I'm like, really? They go too far? I didn't know that. I thought it was just for fun. I didn't know they could take it to the extreme. And then I'm like, oh God, oh my God. So anyway, this story goes like this. There's this teenager who is bitter. And he's been bitter ever since his alcoholic father had killed himself. It was then the boy is visited by his best friend who tells him about this haunted house on Patterson farm. The boy didn't really exactly want to go. However, his best friend let out that his crush by the name of Alyssa was going. So the narrator thought, okay, I'll go too if Alyssa's going. So they're on their way to the haunted house on the day it appeared. And they're greeted by some guy by the name of Phineas Patterson. They go in. Well, Alyssa goes in first, and then the narrator, thinking it was just all cliche. The best friend was too chickened. As the narrator was walking through, he looked around and saw it was just too fake. But then things got really creepy. He saw what looked to be his room. It was the same one he had when he was a kid. And it was then the boy thought, this is my room when I was a kid. I haven't been here in a while. And then he heard his father's voice. What? That's my dad. He's supposed to be dead. Then he saw his dad come in, and his dad saw. And his dad is angry at him. And the narrator says, no, you're dead. You're supposed to be dead. You're gone. I didn't have to deal with your bullshit. And the narrator's father begins to grow sad. But then he reenacts the whole suicide thing that devastated the poor narrator. The narrator is named Kevin. Anyway, his crush by the name of Alyssa, as I mentioned, comes in and she's freaked out. It was then Kevin, the narrator, comes towards her and he's screaming and crying. But as Kevin is about to leave, he feels somebody grabbed him by his ankle. And the narrator looks and he's horrified to see his father, who is a corpse, and he's got maggots all over him. I'm like, holy crap. And this is where Kevin's like crying out to Alyssa, Alyssa, don't let the door close. Please, help me. Get me out of here. And this is where Mr. Creepypasta actually did some sound effects to make his voice different. I don't know if it was actually him, but oh my God, it was so scary. You could hear the father say, "You're just like me. And you will end up like me." And he let out a ha 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 ha. And then Kevin managed to kick the corpse away, and the corpse of his dad goes, "Nothing but food for the flies." I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, so Kevin and Alyssa managed to get away, but Kevin is still crying and still trying to process what happened. However, Kevin managed to calm down and tell Alyssa, we have to get out of here. However, Alyssa was still comforting and being all intimate with him. And Kevin's like, "Alyssa, what's going on with you?" And Alyssa's like, "I'm just happy. We're here alone, aren't we?" And she's trying to get all intimate, and she's trying to take off her shirt, but Kevin's like, stop, what are you doing? And Alyssa's like, are you rejecting me? Don't you like me? Don't you think I'm beautiful? And all of a sudden, she takes off her clothes. And this is where things got really freaky. She's like, she tears at her skin and all the fat and the flesh comes off. I'm like, that's not Alyssa. Alyssa would never do that. And Alyssa turns into some sort of horrible creature of herself. Like, whoever that person was, it wasn't Alyssa, but something inhuman. And this is the part where I get freaked out. There's another sound effect, but it sounds so shrilled and demonic. It's like, don't you want to F me, Kevin? Kevin, don't you like me? This is meant to be. And then you could hear Kevin's father's corpse-drunk voice saying, just like me. Food for the flies. And Kevin is like running for the hills. Oh my God. And when like Kevin is trying to push away the creature who was pretending to be Alyssa, you could hear that demonic shrill laugh. It sounds like the demonic announcer from Call of Duty. You know, after you hear that little girl, hee 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 hee, and then afterwards you hear, ha 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 ha, bye bye. It's like, holy crap, that was what it sounded like. And I remember because I used to watch my little brother Jimmy play that game like all the freaking time when he was like 7, 8. No, not 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah, I remember. But it was so freaky. Holy crap. But now my little brother is now a teenager. He's going to be 17 this year. But anyway, but it was so freaky. Kevin's like running for his life and he's trying to find an exit. He's like, get me out of here. The haunted house won. Please, just get me out of here. And then he comes across a kid in a demonic mask say, hey. And then Kevin looks down and he's like screaming profanities and demanding to know, what do you want? What do you want from me? And then the kid looks at him and then he says in a starting voice, boo! And then Kevin now leaves it and then he comes across his best friend and Alyssa. His best friend wanted to know what happened, but Kevin didn't want to talk about it. But Alyssa knew because she might have saw something horrible too. Alyssa and Kevin never mentioned it to anyone at school when they got back. However, the teacher wanted to know, where was this haunted house? So Kevin explained it was at Patterson farm and it was nothing big. That's when the teacher said something that gave me chills. She's like, there was never a haunted house. There wasn't anyone. You see, Phineas Patterson is dead. I'm like, you mean they went to a haunted house by a spirit of a dead guy who might have run that place? Or maybe this Patterson guy is like, he could be like a demon trying to know about people's fears and trying to scar them for life. But anyway, it was a really creepy but great story. I mean, Mr. Creepypasta didn't write the story, but oh my God, it was so creepy. Oh, it was so great. You have no idea. But anyway, thank you so much for listening and watching. And if you want to see the story, I'll be sure to link in the description. And no, Mr. Creepypasta never told me to do this, but I have to say, I'm very, very impressed. He did so good. And it's because of Mr. Nightmare, Mr. Creepypasta, and Kitten Reads Horror, and Tales of Tim. I have to say, this, my friends, is an awesome story. These people had made my life even more exciting. Anyway, yeah. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.